how much performance can you get out of a $99 LPVO? So my buddy, he told me he bought this $99 1-6 on Amazon for like, again, $100. And I was like, dude, I need to do a review on that. Let's see how if it even works, right? So this is the Monstrum Laid-On 1-6. It's a second focal plane, and it's mounted on his rifle, which is a complete budget. I mean, this is like $500 out the door. So complete, we're talking $600 in this gun for gun and optic, like mount included. We're gonna shoot at a 2/3 size IPSC, see how far we can get out with continued hits at distance. But we'll start out at 100 and move out to, let's see, as far as we can while still getting hits. I'm really interested in this. I think this will be a lot of fun. I'm actually pretty excited to shoot this thing and just see if it'll work at all, you know? I gotta put a pick rail on this bad boy so we can mount a bipod to it. Otherwise, I don't think we're gonna be able to get as precise hits. I want everything to be kind of like all the variables taken out so we can see if the performance is based on the actual quality of the scope or their lack of. I don't know. All right, we got the Picatinny rail attached to the M-LOK. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna bore sight 0 and then start taking it out to distance. It's got a BDC reticle on there, so I read through the manual. It should be, that has hash lines, and I'm gonna try to put the trigger cam on here, the trigger cam, so you guys can see what I'm seeing what I'm holding when I'm shooting this. So let's do it. All right, so just took the turrets off. We've got these pretty tactile turrets up here. It's 1/2 inch at 100 yards, so it's not the best, but again, it's $99. Let's see what we can do, all right? So it should be pretty damn good, honestly. This will be on paper at least. Cool, so we've got this bore sight. We're gonna 0 it now. It should be pretty damn close on paper if my bore sighting was done correct. Let's see. We're shooting 77 grain. It's the Pine Hills. I just have a bunch of that. So it's 77 grain Sierra Match Kings. We'll see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this gun. All right, so we're gonna come up, or we said up 3 inches, which would be 6 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have to go right, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see how accurate these turrets are. I'm gonna shoot a group now. The center dot on that reticle actually fit in this. It's a larger dot, so it's not super precise, but for a 1-6, it is what it is. I put it right here, took the first 2 shots. This was after bore sighting, so I was on paper pretty good. These were almost touching. Very good for that budget gun and that budget optic. So I brought it over a mil and up, and we had these 3 here. Kind of strung it. Again, it's a 1-6. I'm shooting at 100 yards here. Not bad. Brought it up, and this is after my second correction. 1, 2, 3. That's within an inch. That's a sub MOA group right there, or MOA group, from a $99 1-6 with a $500 gun. I'm pretty fucking impressed. So she's good. I brought her up just a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna then start taking out or shoot at 100 and keep moving back in 100-meter increments. All right, guys, we are at 100 yards. It's snowing a little bit, weird little springtime snow, but we've got the trigger cam on here. She's recording, so you should be able to see, if all goes well, target footage plus the footage here. So let's go standing shot. Just gonna hold dead center. Okay, impact. Cool, let's go to 200. All right, we're at 200 now. I'm going to use that dot and just, again, high center. Impact. So you saw you're just a little bit lower. So for 200, let me take another shot. I'm going to aim at the shoulder. Okay, so it's right in between. The impact is right between the dot and the top of that arrow for 200. Cool. Okay. So we're at 300 right now. Got a little bit of grass in the way. Let's see if it doesn't affect the round. I'm going to use that arrow now. Impact. Too easy. I'm actually very impressed with this optic right now. It's kind of crazy. We're going to start pushing it back to 4 and see how far back we can get this thing. All right, we are at 400 now. The only thing that's going to start limiting us is not the best design of a reticle on this optic and the magnification, right? We're using a 2/3 size IPSC, so it's not even a full IPSC. And it's getting small. As you can see in the trigger cam, she's small, but I think we can do it. We got a right to left. I'm gonna hold this line here and we'll hold right edge. Okay, I did not need any wind. Still hitting to the impact. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, so it's just figuring out wind. I saw a right to left, but from here the wind is coming right at us. So that is going to be an issue. It's one of the harder winds to shoot in because it can go from a right to left to a left to right pretty easily. You saw that I had to hold with the right edge of that stadia line for the 400, and I was getting hits right there. Okay, but she's accurate, right? She's working, she's doing her thing. I'm still pretty impressed. Next, we move on to 500, which would be this stadia line. That'll be a little bit harder. I think we can do it. Also, this gun was $500. This optic with the mount was $100. I gotta remind myself that because I'm pretty impressed. The barrel on this is actually very good, and it is a 1/7 twist, so that's helping stabilize the 77 grain rounds that we're using. This is 517 yards now, so we're gonna see what we can do. Kind of got like a boil going on. I'm gonna assume that we had the same wind as last time. And we're just gonna take this shot here. Unobserved. Impact. Two impacts in a row. I'm pretty impressed. What's happening now is that the stadia lines are getting so small that it's going to be hard to use it for wind when we get out to 6 or 7, because we're going to keep pushing it until we can't get hits. It should still be workable. The problem is, look how small that target's getting, right? It's pretty freaking small, so it'll be tough, and there's nothing out here to hold for wind. That's okay. There's not a ton of wind right now. Let's just hope that stays that way. Again, 500 yards. That's a 12. That target is 12 inches wide. That's pretty freaking small. And we have a 1/6, and it's $100. So, but not bad. Also, the trigger is probably one of the worst triggers I've shot. It is not a precision trigger. If I had a LaRue MBT, a nice 2-stage, this is a horrible mil spec, but like worse probably. There's just, you don't know when it's gonna break. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing what I can with what God gave me. All right, we are at 640. I'm gonna use 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna use a 600 yard hash line. Gonna hold here. Okay. got it. $600, doable. If it was a full-size dipstick, we would have more impacts on that target for sure, right? So I'd say it's a 500 nin gun. 500, you can get consistent hits. 600, oh man, a little tilted. 600, you're pushing it. You're pushing it because the magnification and the reticle is just not great. So guys, we're at 700 yards, like on the dot. The wind is picking up a little bit. We'll see how that affects it. I'll shoot a couple rounds, see how many rounds it takes to get on target. Hopefully not too many. It's gonna be hard for me to even see impacts, but hey, no excuses. Play like a champ. Okay. Oh. Impact. Oh, I was shooting all around it. We did get an impact though. Oh. Yeah. Okay. There's nowhere for me to hold for the wind, and that's what the problem is. We actually didn't need that much. I'm holding the 700 yard stadia at the bottom, the base of the target, and I'm just moving out from there for wind. But the wind it's not consistent, and this target's so small, and the trigger's so bad. But we gotta hit at 700. So who would this optic be good for? Like I said, it's not a bad optic. I was very impressed, able to get shots out to 700. I was actually impressed with the gun too. I'm gonna have to do a review on this gun as well because the gun performed fantastic today. Very shocked with a extremely cheap budget gun that I would never consider. And I still won't buy one of these. But for people who maybe on an extreme budget, dude, it worked. It freaking worked. It's 16-inch, the Mill Sport American Tactical in 5.56. So getting back to the optic, it's usable out to 500, right? Was I able to get shots out to 700? Yes. But are you gonna be able to get consistent shots? No, especially if you have a wind, even a slight wind, you're not gonna be able to adjust on those shots to get the proper impacts. So who would it be for? Someone who is on a budget, going to the range, just wants to shoot out further, wants to push their gun. They maybe have a gas gun like this, and they want to shoot out to 500 yards, even like 300 to 400 yards. This optic will work fine. I had no issues with the mount either. The mount worked. So for someone who's just wants a very affordable scope that they can just go to the range to have some fun with, this would be fantastic. Like, no qualms, right? Would I say it's ideal for anything over 500? No. For professional use? No. Because I haven't had the ability to do any kind of durability testing, anything like that. I don't know how this would hold up long term, but again, for $99, I would pick. So what I would do is, if you're going to buy this and you want to shoot out to 6 or 7, you can do it. You can do it, but you need to get a reticle. I'm pretty sure they have other options for their reticles that have like a tree design. So if I had that today, I would have had multiple impacts at 7 and 6, like very easily. easily done. With that, I think would be freaking awesome, because that was the only issue that I had. I couldn't adjust off of the misses I was having due to the wind. Also, I'm shooting a very small target. Again, a 12-inch wide target. So a lot of those shots, I was extremely close. And you'll see on the trigger cam, very, very close on those. If it was a wider, full-size IPSC target, yes, you'll get an impact. So I was, putting it through a little bit of a ringer today. It still surprised me. I mean, consistent out to 500. Even at 640, we got 2 hits in a row. Okay, so that's not by luck. This thing works. I just don't know long term how it'll hold up. So maybe we'll come back, like maybe a year from now. I'll ask my buddy, hey, how is that $99 piece of Amazon ass working? I'm making fun of it, but honestly, like, I could shit talk this thing, but it worked, right? Like, easily 500 and in, this thing was crushing it. So I can't talk that much shit. Same thing with the rifle, right? Would I normally ever look at and or shoot a $500 AR? No fucking way. But dude, this thing was crushing it today. So I don't know. I guess there are options out there that work on an extreme budget. Very cool. That's all I got. I'll do some further testing on this rifle, and we'll come back to this optic months from now and see how it's holding up. That's it.